I've been getting a lot of videos like this recommended to me recently, and it's inspired me a little bit. So I'm going to try my best to try and get into this hobby, which I have extremely minimal experience in. So I have these spare printer boxes because I make a lot of stickers online, and I thought it would make a nice little two-storied building. So I start off by cutting off these little back flaps because I don't really need them. And then after that, I use a mini to measure out a door and some windows, kind of just freehanding it. I'm not very precise. After that, I cut out those windows, of course, and then I do a very similar thing on the top piece, which is just drop a door, cut it out, and then I glue everything together. This is the final vision that I'm going for. It should have a little balcony on the top, and then there will be a roof as well. There's probably a better way to do this, but I needed to make a triangular roof piece, and I wanted it to be at like a 45-degree angle. I just could not figure out how to do it normally, so I just used the existing flaps from the box. I then used those flaps that I just cut out from the top, and then used those as reference to cut out a cardboard triangle. Again, this is a little bit of a workaround. I don't actually know how I would have done this normally. Then after my camera died, I realized that the balcony being attached to the second floor probably wasn't the best idea. So I went ahead and I cut out a top piece to fit on top of the first floor, so that it's just one level floor piece. Then using those triangle pieces I cut out earlier, I cut out a piece of roof rectangles, roughly a little bit longer than the roof. And after gluing that all together, I have a roughly decent roof piece. Then after that, I decided I wanted some wood accents, so I had to cut up some of these miniature popsicle sticks, which was not fun. I did not enjoy that at all. And I think it turned out okay. Again, not my favorite thing to do, but I have a bunch of little wood accents, at least on this top piece for the second floor. Then I decided to get a pasta machine and some clay, and condition some clay, and using this nice little roller that my coworker got me, I made some brick tiles. I bought some XPS foam in the hopes of making some modular tiles, but I kind of cut them up pretty badly, so I'm just using the scraps from that to try and basically make a little bit of a magnet system at the bottom here. There's probably a prettier and better way to do it, but this is what I'm doing. I'm just placing 4 little blocks in the corners, and then I will place the magnets on basically the opposing side on the bottom of these buildings, so that you can kind of snap them on top of each other. Then I took some acrylic, and I just kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a texture here, so I'm just trying to paint on the side kind of thickly and try to give it a little bit of a messed up wall texture, but I don't know. Then I used my little sizer cutting machine that I use for my stickers to make these little shingles, and I kind of just overlaid them, slightly offsetting them so that they weren't perfectly even, and then I just glued them on both sides and cut off the excess. After that, I glued on the clay, sprayed it on with the black primer, which I do slightly regret. It was a little bit hard to work with, but it's whatever, it's the only primer I had. So I decided to go in with some oil paints. It's just my preferred medium. Also, I have just a lot of it left over because I used to be an art student, but I am not good with painting on physical crafts. So I mainly paint this little top section here with a little bit of Venetian red and Naples yellow, and then the rest of the roof pretty much with just straight Venetian red. So I ended up struggling a lot through this whole process of just painting because I've not painted physically in quite a bit. I've been a mostly digital artist for the past probably 3 years, and just the mixing of the paints, the feeling of the mineral spirits, and then also just the fact that I don't really paint on little craft pieces like this kind of just made it difficult all around. I especially struggled on this little wooden floor here. They were just a combination of things. Probably the paint was a little bit too thin to start off with, and then the colors I was mixing probably just weren't the right choice, and I never really got it to work how I wanted to, but it's whatever. I never quite got the wooden color on these wood accents quite what I wanted either. It was mostly just my own impatience and also just not really spending any time to mix the paints. I just kind of brought out a few and then just went for it. I tried going through and highlighting a few things, trying to fill in any of those spots that I didn't get painted properly, and it ends up giving the entire piece a little bit of this impressionistic look, which I actually do enjoy, but I know that it's coming more from a space of I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not capable of doing anything else, versus like personal choice. So ultimately I'm not very happy with it. I end up adding a little bit of green to the sides, just give it a little bit of extra character, and here's the whole thing together. It's still wet, I'll varnish it later, but for a first attempt, it's okay. It's a little ugly, I'm not happy with it, but this is the first time I've ever made and painted a little miniature building, so it's the best I can do. But, you know, in the same way that this video is probably pretty sloppily edited, I have to be bad at something before I can get good at it.